Alright guys, I want to show you something I picked up today. You know, it's a beautiful day here in Salt Lake City. It's Tuesday, the day after Martin Luther King Day. And I took an extra day off so that I could enjoy getting some work done without anything getting in the way. But when it came to it this morning, I just didn't feel like doing any work. I felt like bumming around with wifey. And she kind of was willing to go along with that, so we bummed around. She went to her favorite thrift store. I dropped her off, and about a block away, I went to my favorite used record store, a place called Randy's Records here in Salt Lake. I am going to do I'm going to do a video soon highlighting Randy's Records, kind of like I did with Ray Elko, because I want you to see Randy's Records and see what used record stores are all about, because Randy's is a really good example of a used record store. But like most used record stores, Randy's also sells some new records, and I bought a few of those there. I bought a handful of used records here today too, but I want to show you something else I got there. And I got this at Randy's. I got it for a really good price, and it's this right here. So you see this box says Meet the Orbit. What is the Orbit? Let me show you what the Orbit is. The Orbit is, I hope you can see that, the Orbit is an American-made turntable. American-made, guys. This thing was made in Boston, Massachusetts. Now that got me excited. You see, because the other new turntable that I had recently was a project, and it was made in the Czech Republic. And to be honest with you, I really didn't care much for that turntable. I didn't like the way it felt, and I didn't like the way the anti-skate mechanism worked with a little hanging weight. But this thing is American-made. It's a nice turntable, and you know what? I didn't even go in there looking for a turntable. I have a decent Techniques that I'm dressing up to work in my little personal stereo in my electronics shop. But I went in there just looking for some records, and I saw this different turntable sitting there, one I'd never seen before. And I'd like to be fairly up to date on at least what's out there on the market now. Saw this thing sitting there, and I just started kind of looking at it, and the salesperson came up and said, "Yeah, those are pretty cool. We just started selling those." And I said, "Well, what is it?" And he told me what it is. It's a Uturn is the company, Uturn Audio, and the model is, this model is the Orbit. And I just liked the way it looked. I thought, well, that's pretty cool. And the one there had an Ortophone cartridge on it that I happen to like those cartridges. It's an Ortophone OM5E that's on the machine in the store. That comes with different cartridges depending on the options that you choose. And I thought, well, that's a pretty cool looking little turntable. So I started asking him questions about it, and he said they had just started selling them, and they're selling really well, and they've only gotten good reviews from people, and people are happy with it, and the price is pretty good, pretty fair. I said, well, where are they made? I really expected to hear China or, at very best, someplace like, South Korea. And he said, I'm not sure, but I think they're made in the United States. And the first thing that popped in my mind is when someone says they're not sure, it kind of worries me, because that's the kind of thing I would know immediately. But, all right, I'll live with that. He said he's not sure. I said, well, do you have a box? Take a look and find out. Well, he said, well, we sold out of all of them. Wait a minute. There is one left, but it had more options, so it's a little more money. I said, well, go find out where it's made. And he came back, and he told me, what thing is made in the United States. This thing it says every Orbit is built by hand in Boston, Massachusetts. And they go on to say their attention to detail and use of high-quality materials allows them to deliver standout build quality. Comes with a 1-year warranty. It's real easy to set up and use. Now, I haven't pulled it out of the box yet. We're going to do that here in a minute. And it's ready to play your favorite stuff right away. The arm is pre-fitted with a moving magnet cartridge. Okay, mine is with that Ortophone cartridge. Some of them came with an Audio Technica cartridge, which are really cool too. But I'm real stoked about this Ortophone because I like them, and I figure for what I spend on this thing, all right, this is normally they had it on sale, but this turntable would have normally cost me about $380. And they had it on sale, so I got it for a really good price, for significantly less than that. And I was really tickled because of where it's made. Now, you know, I make a big deal out of that, but you all know, if you watch my vids, you know that I'm a patriot and I care about that stuff. This thing has some cool features that I'm going to show you in a minute, but I'm going to do a full review of this. This video that I'm doing right now will be the first part in a series. I'm going to do a full review on this once I get it set up. Now, that comes with a qualifier, guys. That's going to be a while because I have to finish that Scott 800B. And I have to put together the amplifier that's going to be in the second half of this video, my amp kit that I got. So once I do those things, I should be good. Now, what I will tell you about this machine, though, right away, the one I got has some nice options on it, but what it does not have is its own phono preamp. Now, that's fine with me because whatever phono preamp it would have come with, because they sell them with them, I would have taken out anyway, or I would have, you know, bypassed or gone around or done, you know, switched it off, whatever I had to do anyway, because I like tube preamps, and I have a tube preamp kit on the way, and I'm going to build that and use it with this. So, but it does, mine came with some neat features that aren't shown in this diagram that made me real happy with it. Made it cost just a little, would have cost just a little more, but like I said, I got a good price. But even at $380, you can't beat this, man. That project, made in the Czech Republic, I think I spent about $700 on the thing. It had just come out, and it was an okay machine, but I just did not like the anti-skate device. So let's go ahead and open this up. This is a first for me. I haven't opened it yet. Oops, it helps if I don't have the box upside down. Now, check this out. This is one of those options. It comes with an acrylic platter with a nice felt disc. You know, the mat that goes on the platter. This is a nice platter. I like it. It's not the opaque acrylic that was on the project, and you know, I like the opaque too. So I'll be happy with this. It's going to do a nice job, I think. And it looks really cool. The original is like an engineered, like pressed fiber material, and still it got good reviews. So it comes with, you know, your standard garden variety RCA cable. There's the belt. It is a belt drive turntable, and it comes. Here's the dust cover. Nice heavy dust cover. It's a little bit sturdier dust cover than what's typical, like on my Technique. So I'm real pleased with this. Let's see what kind of doodads are in here. This side is empty. Okay, this is probably the power supply. Looks to me like it's a power supply. Okay, sure enough. All right, there's your power supply. Unfortunately, the power supply is made in China. I expect that. You know, there's no matter what you do, there's going to be some of that. In my project, the power supply was made in China. So I'm going to deal with that. Alright, so there that guy is. Alright, look at this. This is a beaut, man. This is a beaut. I know I'm going off camera here. I'll put it back on camera here in just a minute. Let me get this out of the way. All right. Let's see what we have here. Now, I don't want to get this all nasty. My bench is my workbench. So, like I said, it's belt driven. I listened to the one in the store, and I was very pleased with the way it operated. It had a nice look to it. You know, it's hard to judge in the store whether you're going to like the sound of the thing. But I don't pretend to be any big-time audiophile, guys. You know, I like good tunes. I know when it sounds good, but I don't make all kinds of lofty comments about audiophile quality. So if you're looking for that kind of a review from me, it's not going to be that way. Any review I do will be more like, hey, is this thing hard to use? Do the controls make sense? Does it look like it's built well? Does it look like it's going to last? Those are the things that are going to work for me. Notice I'm using my Excel American-made knife. All right. It's fairly heavy. It takes a little bit to hold it up, but it's not so heavy I can't hold it with one hand. Okay. As you can see, the motor sits right there, right here. And the power supply looks like it plugs in that hole in the back. Really simple. This is a fully manual turntable, guys. This thing is not automatic. So you have to be able to live with that. So there's the spindle bearing. This is, oh wow, that thing is on some suspension, man. This is the motor. Very simple, just an on-off switch. That's it, man. That is it, an on-off switch. So the platter will rest down on this thing. Really nice tone arm. It's got the Ortophone cartridge already installed. There's a nice cover over it to protect it. I'll have to hold on to that. See if you can see that. Really simple, nothing to it, man. It's not fancy, but it looks to be well made. So I'm pretty tickled with it. One of the extras that this came with is this cueing arm is actually an add-on. This is not standard on the basic model. Okay, so that's the same thing with the acrylic platter. That is an add-on. So I think this is going to be a damn good machine. The Ortophone cartridge is an upgrade, so I'm looking forward to it. It looks like you just set tracking force really simply by moving this weight, just like the old days. You turn this, there's a little weight here, you turn a little thumb screw, slide this weight that way or this way. Slide it forward, slide it aft, either way to set your tracking weight. Okay, I am not going to do any more with this yet. So this is just to clue you in on what I did today and what's coming. And I'm going to do a review on this machine once I get a chance to assemble it and actually put it to use. Like I said though, we're not talking about an expensive, really fancy machine, but so far I like the way it looks. It looks well made. And it does not have the typical Japanese cheap feel to everything. Or not Japanese, Chinese cheap feel to everything. So, you know, things are assembled, there isn't as much plastic. Things are assembled with screws rather than plastic snapping together, that kind of thing. So I will do a more thorough review once I get this thing up and running. I'm not a turntable expert. I'm not a crazy audiophile. So if you're an audiophile and you're looking for a lot of flowery words, you won't get them from me. And if you're looking for me to be, you know, comparing this to my very best, you know, $3,000 machine, well, I won't be able to help you. But along the lines of $3,000 machines, something you should know, and if I had the money, I would buy one. There's another American company, and it's in Detroit, Michigan, of all cool places, called Shinola. And they are making a line of audio equipment, or they're beginning to make a line of audio equipment that is including a new turntable. And that turntable looks really slick. I like it. I would like to own one, but they're about $2,500. So it's going to be a while before I can buy one of those. I love vinyl, but I don't have $2,500 to spend on a machine. So there you go. I'll give you a real quickie look of what the Orbit looks like when it's all set up and ready to go. Is the way mine is set up and ready to go. There it is. Mine is the black one. You see it's an external belt drive. And mine has the acrylic platter just like this guy. So when you're out there looking for audio equipment, you might want to consider, rather than buying a used one that you have to fix up, and I get the draw for a used one, but you could get one of these at a reasonable price. You might want to consider it. All right, guys, this is Michael from Salt Lake City. We'll get back to work now. Well, I can't very well take a trip to Randy's Records without showing you some of the records I got at Randy's while I was there. All right, this first one here is an early 1980s record. This is by a band called Supertramp, which is it's probably my favorite rock band. This band and a band called Rush are my two favorite rock bands of all time. This record is called Famous Last Words, and it was really sort of their closeout record for their popularity with the band the way it was originally formed. And it's a fantastic record, and if you've got a good machine and you have good speakers and stuff, it's one of the best sounding records that I've ever heard. Nice song on there called Know Who You Are. Mind-blowing how nice it sounds. Anyway, this is a 4-star out of 5-star. That's the way Randy's rates him, his number of stars, and he does a pretty fair job of it. A 4-star record he sold to me for $7. I'm pretty happy with it. This is a real nice record. So I got that one. I said I was a Rush fan. This was one of Rush's most popular albums. This is Rush Signals. This is the one with New World Man and Subdivisions and Analog Kid and songs like that. Really popular record. I think it came out in 1982 or so, 83, something like that. One of my favorites. The second time I saw Rush, I saw them during the Signals tour. I've seen Rush 8 times if you include last summer for the 40th anniversary tour. Excellent. I paid $3 for this, so I'm not expecting much. This is probably not a record I'll play on my best turntable. I have some 5-star versions, and I even have an unopened one of this record. So I'm just happy to get. I'd like to get as many as I can of the good Rush stuff because their recordings were really second to none. Speaking of good recordings, this is one of my favorites. I think this is my 4th copy of this set. This is Rush Archives. This is basically their first 3 albums, all put together into one. Now the cool thing about this one is, I took the cover off so I could show you. I like to take these off of here right away. You don't want to leave these stickers on because that adhesive will dry out and then becomes part of the paper. Take it off while it's still fresh. And if you're really smart, you can take a lightly damp cloth and wipe that off, but it'll be okay for now. Archives is their debut album, Rush, the one with Working Man on it. Everybody knows Working Man. And then Fly By Night is their second album. That's on here as well. And, of course, the title track to that record is the popular one. And then here's a record that no one, except for Rush fans, really knows much about. It's called Caressive Steel. For my part, this is one of my 2 favorite Rush records. This one and Permanent Waves are my 2 favorite Rush records. This is a fabulous, fabulous record. And it's too bad it wasn't popular when it came out. And then check this out. This is why I like these big sets. I love how you can open this up. It's got all the information on the songs, when they came out and so forth. The usual pictures of the artists. That seemed to be a big deal in the 70s. By the way, I think this came out in about 1974 or 75. 1974. So that's a really nice set in nice condition. I like it. I like it a lot. But here's why I'm really happy about what I found at Randy's. So let me show this to you. The first one is Benny Goodman Big Bands. Now this is a 2-record set, a Time Life music set. These were some of the Time Life stuff actually was mastered pretty well and they were nice pressings. This is one of those sets. This is Benny Goodman Big Bands. Okay, this has got some of his great stuff on it. Uturn the Tables on Me, I like that. Stompin' at the Savoy, God, it doesn't get better than that. And my very favorite Benny Goodman song of all time is on here called Sing, Sing, Sing. If you can listen to Sing, 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 and you don't feel the urge to tap your foot or maybe even get up and dance, man, you better check your pulse because I think you're dead. This is probably the best big band song ever made. This song and In the Mood by Glenn Miller. Those 2 songs, and I'm set forever, man. Every time I hear either one of those, I want to get up and dance. It's good stuff. Benny Goodman was fantastic. And here's the other one I got. This is another Benny Goodman set, Benny Goodman King of Swing. So this has got a whole different collection of his swing stuff. Really nice original recordings that have been remastered and mastered pretty well. Now this particular one has never been opened. There was one there that was open, so I got to sample some of the music that was on it. This one's sealed, never been opened, and I got it for $10. This is a brand new record, 2-record set I got for 10 bucks. And it has some really cool Benny Goodman stuff on here, like Perfidia is on here. Bluebirds in the Moonlight is on here. Just some really good stuff. La Rosita, nice stuff. Elmer's Tune. I mean, we're talking, these are classic Benny Goodman tunes. You have to check your citizen ID card if you don't love Benny Goodman just a little bit, man. So that's the last record I got. I'm excited to play these records on that new turntable. But for now, I'm going to have to put them away and have to live with the knowledge that I have this stuff here to listen to at some point, because I have to get back to that thing. Yep, the 800B is calling, guys, so I better get back to work. So with that, this is Michael. I'm here out in your Western Outpost on a sunny day in Salt Lake City. It's Tuesday, the day after Martin Luther King Day, and I will get back to work now. That's all for now. Hey guys, just one more thing. When I was checking out the Uturn Audio website, I noticed that they said something about where they source how they source their parts, their components. They said they try to source as much of the stuff they use to make their turntables in the United States as possible. For example, I think they said they make the acrylic platters in Ohio. I'm not sure about that detail, but I know they make something in Ohio because I remember reading that. And that's another good reason to consider buying this turntable versus buying a foreign-made one or buying a used one. That not only do they build the turntable itself in the United States, but they use American parts as much as possible. That is cool. All right, this is Michael. That's all for now. Bye-bye.